What is up, guys? It's Francis back with another video, and today I've got Scott in the car. What is up, Scott?
I'm not going to enjoy this, I swear to God. I'm bricking it.
Why have I got a yellow jacket on?
Because I'm going to have a driving test in a manual car, which I haven't driven for about a year.
So we're in Morden. This is my driving test centre. It's not Scott. Scott is not massively familiar with the area, so this should be quite interesting. It's going to be a lot of planning ahead, anticipating. Do you feel confident?
No.
So Scott, the test is going to last 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to complete one manoeuvre and potentially an emergency stop. We're going to follow 20 minutes worth of independent driving, either following a SatNav or following road signs. And if I'm directing, all I want you to do is follow the road, obey all road signs, and if I want to turn left or right, I'll let you know in good time.
Cool.
Sweet?
Sweet.
Okay, do you know what? Let's make it interesting.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. I just knew it. When you looked at me and you said, all full of signs, I was like, he's going to ask me to follow signs.
Yes. So today we're going to do one of Morden's driving tests without a SatNav.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Some people think that it's a little bit harder to not follow a SatNav, but in my opinion, it can be a little bit easier, because if you're going to follow road signs, what kind of roads are you going to be on? Really long, straight roads that aren't going to be too challenging. Okay.
He said that now, yeah? Just we'll see what happens.
Before you start the driving test, the examiner is going to ask you a tell me question, also known as a vehicle safety question. So Scott, how would you know if your power steering was not working before you started your journey?
So I'd need to switch the ignition on, which I'm not going to do because it's a tell me question, and then I'd move the steering wheel left to right. Make sure that the steering wheel is free to move, it's light, it's easy. If it wasn't and it was stiff or rigid, then there'd be a fault with the power steering.
Cool, that's a really good answer. That's a driving instructor answer. What they're looking for is for you to understand the question and understand the answer. You don't need to give a really detailed explanation. Don't freak out. Just sound like you know what you're talking about.
So I'll do a student answer now, yeah?
Okay, cool, thanks.
Switch the engine on, turn the steering wheel, and it's light and easy to move.
That'll do? Great, brilliant. So, let's put the seatbelts on.
Very important. Some people forget this and your examiner won't tell you.
Yeah, no, they'll let you drive on and then tick the fail box.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to adjust your mirrors, adjust your seat to make yourself comfortable, and then when you're ready, drive on.
Okay, left foot's in action now, huh? This is interesting. Wow. Okay. I'm assuming that's reverse.
It's not. That's first.
You're joking.
So to get into reverse, we just pinch up that little bit.
All right, okay.
And then it lets you into reverse.
There we go.
And we've got the parking sensors there to prove it.
Sweet. All right, okay, so that's
camera,
helpful.
Just sensors.
That's helpful.
I missed Scott's car already. I've just done a driving test in Scott's car. He tested me and I drove his car. The spaceship, it's so nice.
Dude, I did legs yesterday at the gym and this left foot's just not having it. Okay, and there's a handbrake. I don't even know why I'm reversing, because I know I've got enough room to move ahead, so let me just jam that back into first. All right, we ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, all right.
Good to go.
I'm not.
This is going to be fun.
This is not going to be fun. Whoa, rolling back already. Oh, there we go. All right, that won't happen again. I'll make sure I get my biting point before I move off. Francis is so eager to tick that box, I can see it now.
If that was on a driving test, would the examiner mark it? Tiny, small, minor infractions like that are going to be okay, yeah? Don't freak out when a tiny mistake goes wrong. You go 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. At the end of the day, it's going to be fine.
I changed gear.
Yeah, and it was smooth.
We're going to try third gear out, and we're going to do what I always used to preach. Just let the car roll. Don't accelerate, just let it roll. Let the car do the work for you. If you need to accelerate, yeah, give it a little bit of gas. Otherwise, the car can keep going without you accelerating. People are so eager to get their foot on that gas pedal all the time. All right, downshift into second gear. Making sure I keep my spacing, slowing down for the oncoming cyclist. And he's moved out of the way. Right, the car beyond has stopped. It's not moving, so I'm proceeding.
All right, Scott, we're going to take the next road on the left, please.
Next road on the left. All right. Oh, listen to those revs. Right, we're going to try that in second gear. And again, just covering the brake, but no gas. Just letting the car roll and do its work for you. Second gear is a really good gear to turn in, obviously, unless it's a blind bend.
Turn right.
Cool. And that's a good point. When you stop, remember to put yourself back into first gear.
That's a common mistake.
Oh, too common. Too common. Right, get a little bit of gas. Find your biting point. Wow, that biting point's high. Okay, and then set off.
I can't see my car already.
Alright, second gear. Brake lights on the vehicle in front, not accelerating, plus it's a downhill, no need for accelerator. What I love about a manual car is engine braking.
Oh yeah.
Love it, yeah.
And you've got the control over the car. You decide what you want the car to do, not the other way around.
Okay, got a few hazards here. Got the guy on the crossing, and got these people trying to edge out from the side road. I don't need first gear, it can still move off in second. I'm at about, just checking my speed there, I'm about 10 miles an hour.
That was really good on the crossing there. You didn't freak out. There was a car trying to bully you, but you didn't freak out. You know the priority. If you try and do weird stuff with priority, the examiner can't ask you a question, can they? They can't say, hey, did you know that you had priority there? They'll just mark it down as you didn't know you had priority.
Yep. Yeah, because they're not going to have that kind of Q&A with you, are they? Apart from the show me, tell me questions. Now I'm moving back into the left lane because I can see the road markings, a straight arrow for straight ahead. Normal driving is to use the left lane, so I'm going to use the left lane to follow the road ahead. I am anticipating that the bus driver in front here is going to stop at the bus stop that I can see, but I don't see any left signal. Checking my right mirror because there's a merge happening, like Francis said on his mock driving test. 2 lanes at the traffic light, 1 lane on the other side. So common, isn't it?
Yeah, massively common mistake. People are trying to overtake you and you're not aware of it.
Merging and not checking the traffic. Excuse me? Oh no!
Oh, I nearly went for my brake there.
Don't! Just leave me alone.
Did you realise it was a hill start?
No, I wondered what you were whispering about, and I was like, what's he whispering about? Distracted me, it's not fair.
Okay, so the proper technique to overcome a hill start in a manual car, you need to have your foot brake on, get to the biting point before you release that brake. Otherwise, if you've got no brake on and the engine's not powering you forwards, you're just going to roll backwards.
Yes.
Like Scott did.
Yes. Core those revs. It's painful. Warming up, girl. It's all right, I'll get there in the end. Right, he's too far away from the pedestrian crossing, so I'm not going to concern myself with that pedestrian. And bus stop, I'm going to slightly drive over because it looks like it extends a little bit further down. No, it doesn't.
Right, Scott, what I want you to do is there's a car park up ahead just in this green fence. Turn left into the Goals car park.
Well timed because I've got an ambulance behind me, so that gets me off the road. I'm going to take first gear, but I'm going to hold the clutch as I come round, because it's a very narrow turn, and then gently raise the clutch up as I turn into the road so I get the engine braking.
We're in the car park. What I'd like you to do is pick any bay in the car park and forward park into a bay on the left or right.
Okay. Right, so let's take this side bit. More spaces here.
Good choice, loads of space.
Let's say if I needed to do a correction, then I would have a bay behind me here to check out in first gear, to reverse into. Let's say I needed to correct, I could go straight back and then I could see the bay opposite me now and drive forwards into the bay.
When you're ready, Scott, reverse out of the bay and we'll exit the car park.
All right, having a good look all the way around for any cyclists, making sure that I find the biting point first. I'm holding my foot brake. I'd never teach that. I would usually teach have the handbrake. Find that biting point, which is somewhere there. I can feel a slight rumble in the car. Have a good look round again because it's been which way am I reversing?
Your choice.
My choice.
Heading to the exit.
Cool. All right. It's not a one way. There's no marking, so I'm going to reverse out to left. Go out the same way I came in because I know I can.
That's a really good point actually. If you don't obey the road markings in a car park, it is a test fail. So if there are road markings and arrow directions, we need to go that way. But there aren't in this car park, so your free choice.
I'm good to go. Right. Knowing my steering straight again, was on a full lock to the left, give it 1 and a quarter turn to the right, back to straight wheels. Find the biting point. This time I am using the foot brake and finding the biting point. There it is, and off the brake and moving forwards.
Bob on, yeah.
Not rolling back.
Not rolling back.
Right, okay. Now, gonna have a good look round here because people do fly out from sides in car parks.
Yeah, nice and slow in the car park.
Excellent.
So when we exit the car park, I'd like you to turn left.
Look at this
and
joker.
then take the first road on the right.
All right, when you come into car parks on your driving test, do not do what the vehicle in front did and drive on the opposite side of the road into potential oncoming traffic.
Good tip.
Make sure you keep your half of the road, regardless of there being no road markings. Someone might enter in here. We've got to keep, sorry, which way am I going?
Turn left and then
okay,
first right.
we've got to keep ourselves to our side of the road, trying to allow as much room as possible for any vehicles that may enter the car park.
What is this first right?
Right, mirror, signal, position, speed. He's flashing. That's not the reason why I'm going, but it is the reason why I'm going.
What does the flashing mean? If you flash your headlights at someone, what's that supposed to mean?
Warning me. He's warning me of his presence or her presence.
If you read the highway code, that's what it means, but that's not what people use it for in real life, is it?
My attorney advises me to make no comment.
It looks a little bit busy up ahead, but let's find somewhere on the left to pull over.
Okay. Disregard driveways, or
Yeah,
do I?
disregard driveways.
Okay.
No,
all right. That's
give
fine.
you a safe place.
All right. Let's make sure I don't hit the pavement, but I don't want to be too far away at the same time. All right. That should do it. Making my wheels straight. Handbrake. Neutral. I always give a little wiggle on the stick.
To make sure you're in neutral?
Yeah, to make sure I'm in neutral.
Okay, Scott, this is the start of your independent driving. What I'd like you to do next is drive to the end of the road, turn left, and then follow signs to Cheam.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat this back because then it helps me remember. So at the end of the road, turn left, and if I was incorrect, my examiner would recorrect me, so that can be helpful. And then follow signs to Cheam.
Yep, Cheam. And
All right.
if you need any help with directions once you're on an independent drive, ask.
Cool. Yep, you
With
can
the
always
examiner
have
always help you with directions, right?
Yeah.
They don't want you to go the wrong way. It's going to take longer for them to get back for their cup of tea.
Yeah, and you can have that two-way conversation, which also helps to reaffirm to you that you're following the correct way, and
That's it, yeah.
that should relax you a little bit as well.
Definitely. The examiner will ask you questions as well to help you relax. Like, Scott, if you weren't here today, what would you be doing with yourself?
Well, at the moment, due to the
Anyway.
crisis that we're going through, I'll probably be at home doing nothing because everyone's supposed to be isolated at the moment.
We're isolated together.
Yes, in this confinement
I'm
of.
trying not to cough all over Scott.
Yeah, I was tempted to cough this morning when I saw you and see if you were going to react.
If I run off.
Yeah. Right, people probably going to wonder what the hell we're talking about. So if someone's watching this 2 years down the line, there's an epidemic due to a virus that's going around the world at the moment.
Corona.
Corona. Right, end of the road, turn left, and then follow the signs to Cheam. Right, I'm going to take third gear, even though I'm almost at the end of the road, because I don't want to over rev. I'm so eager to just try and keep those revs down. I can always downshift once I reach the end of the road. It's not talking too much, god damn it. Right, focus, Scott. Stop speaking. Right, find the biting point. I said I was going to stop speaking. I can't do it.
Good idea, because that was a bit of a hill. So really nice technique there. Really smooth pull away with the biting point. And confident pull away. I love it when students drive confidently. The examiners like it too. They know that they can then trust you.
Yes, yeah, sets a good example. New road, new mirrors. So just check in once I joined the road. Oh, signs to Cheam. Sorry, Mr. Examiner. I think I missed my sign to Cheam.
You did miss the sign to Cheam.
Yeah, where am I going?
Straight ahead, please.
All right, lovely. Nice straight arrow behind this car. You know what? I'm going to change lanes. I'm going to use the middle lane. Do you know why I'm going to use the middle
Why you
lane?
can use the middle lane.
Because I'm making more progress.
Okay, cool.
There's 3 cars in the left lane. There's none in the middle lane.
Would you advise your learners to do that? Is that dangerous?
No.
No, don't do that if you're learning to drive. Just keep to the left. Even though it's going to be a little bit longer, you're not in a hurry. You're just taking the examiner on a big circle from here back to here again.
Now, red lights are our friends. They allow us time to look ahead.
And think and chill, take a deep breath.
So I'm looking ahead and I'm planning. What's up there? What's next? Is there a parked car? Is the road going to merge into one lane because it was 2 lanes at the traffic light? Is there any vehicles around me, next to me, motorbikes, etc.? You know, what do I need to do next, basically? Okay, looking for signs to cheam. I'm sure it's going to take ages until the next sign to cheam. So forward planning again. Okay, so we've got some signs here. What a colleague of mine likes to call street furniture.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. So got a triangle there, just warning me of bumps. Where there's a van, there's a woman and man. Okay, we can't be
Van woman.
genderist.
White van woman.
Yep.
White van.
So they might walk out into the road, so that's something to think about. We've got the man in the triangle here, person struggling with an umbrella.
Yep, struggling to open it. It must be really windy.
Yeah, it must be super windy. And then we've got this temporary traffic light here, so I'm just going to slow down and allow a safe distance from me and the vehicle in front, tyres and tarmac. I can actually see through the windscreen of this vehicle in front, and I can see the temporary traffic light ahead.
Good, useful.
So yeah, I can see it's changing now. I'm in a manual, so I'm going to get ready, find that biting point, into gear, find the biting point, set the gas, release the clutch gently, and then into second gear shortly after. And third gear shortly after, and here we go, big boy now, fourth gear, yay!
It's almost like he's done this before.
Right, I'm tempted for fifth gear, but I'm not up at 30 miles an hour, and the speed limit's 30 miles an hour. Look at this, getting a nice smiley face. I'm going to stay away from fifth gear because I want to keep my speed to the limit. Fifth gear is more for over, I'd say 30 miles an hour, so yeah, it's not really a point. I could handle fifth gear at 25. Let's see if this car can do it. Just an experiment. Yeah. This is diesel?
It is a diesel. Can you feel the rumbly now?
I can feel it now because I'm going uphill, so I'm going to downshift back into fourth gear. Diesels I always prefer to drive.
It's much smoother, yeah, and the clutch is much more forgiving. All right, Scott, so we're coming into Cheam. The next sign I'd like you to follow is for Kingston.
Okay, lovely. Looking around this van, under the van for feet, and now I'm looking for my sign for Kingston. Ah, I see it. Up ahead there's a big white sign with lots of writing. I can see Kingston in green on the right, so now I'm starting to plan early. What lane am I going to use? Do I need to signal? When do I signal? So I'm going to move into the right lane because Kingston's on the right. I'm going to downshift for some engine braking while holding the brake and make sure I signal at the right time, which I didn't do before, and I know I'm going to get a minor fault for that. For signalling time. So we want to signal how far away from a junction, Francis?
About 6 car lengths, depending on your speed. When you're about 20 to 30 miles an hour, 6 car lengths.
Lovely. Okay. Now, looking at that pedestrian's feet, they were side by side. Her body language, she was looking towards my vehicle.
Okay, so Scott, next left, please.
Okay, next left, mirror, mirror. About 6 car lengths here. Downshift into second, holding the brake on, up on the clutch, and gently holding the brake as I turn.
Loving this commentary. If you can do this on your driving test, even in your head, it's going to help you so much.
New speed limit, 20 mile an hour.
Take the next left, please.
Next road on the left, mirror, mirror.
Even if you're commentating out loud, the examiner won't think you're silly. The examiner's going to know what you're thinking then. Even if you do something weird, they're going to know that your thought process was really good. And even if you feel silly, you're never going to see this examiner ever again. So if it gets you through your driving test, do it.
Definitely.
Okay, next road on the right.
Okay, now we're going from a 20 to a 30 zone. Big problem I used to have was seeing speed changes because they're always at the entrance and exits to roads, so it's very hard to try and see the speed change
when
if you're focusing on lots of other hazards. Right, now I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm looking through here. You know what? Yeah, now that car's reversed back, I'll be able to fit. Lots of clutch control here. Keeping my peep and creep going in both directions. There is a vehicle coming from the right, although it's still reasonably far. So I'm going to take my time now. Make sure I've got adequate distance on both sides of the vehicle and just edge through. The other vehicle actually stopped there. Nice.
Imagine having to do that on your actual driving test. What would you recommend? Would you recommend a learner would wait there at that junction then at the give way line?
They'd have to wait, wouldn't they,
I would
really?
recommend waiting. That's really narrow, really tight. Thinking about safety. Safety is the main focus for your driving test. The examiner wants to see that you're safe more than anything else. How do you like the car? What do you reckon?
It's nice being back in the manual.
To the Focus.
It's nice. Oh, is this the Focus, is it?
It is the Focus, yeah.
Yeah, Focus is always better. Now, I'm not going to stop for this lady as much as I'd like to because there's a vehicle following me behind. Okay, she had stopped, she was stationary, so I proceeded, because if I stop traffic unnecessarily behind, that could be a serious fault and fail my driving test.
Right, yeah, really important to notice on that one that it's not a crossing, it's an island.
Keep to the speed limits, keep to the speed limits. 4th gear, no gas, keeps me at 20 miles an hour. Unless it's a diesel, then it'd probably be 25. Oh no, it'd go down to 15, won't it? Because I know they can shift at lower revs. It's not quite the same as the petrol. Yeah, it's about 20. All right. There's no signs here telling me the speed limit, although there are speed bumps. So I wouldn't really recommend going over speed bumps faster than 20. But saying that, there's no signs. Going by the last sign I saw was 20. Actually, no, because I went out onto the main road,
Right,
that was
Scott,
30.
what we need to do is find a safe place to stop on the left.
Okay, mirror, mirror signal, downshift into 2nd gear. So I think that was a block change from 4th to 2nd. Down on the clutch, gently on the brake, stopping before the next junction on the right. I did my mirrors, I did my signals, so the vehicle following knew I was going to pull over and stop on the left. Securing the vehicle by putting the handbrake on, and then neutral, handbrake first.
Great.
Okay.
Next, when you're ready, drive on and follow signs to Belmont.
Okay, now my mind is going, oh, I've got a minor fault for that, I've got a minor fault, I shouldn't have edged out of that junction, da 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 da. But the main thing, like Francis says, is as long as you're safe. So like I just mentioned, I'm not causing people to slow, stop or swerve unnecessarily, then I'm safe enough. Okay, so I can put all these minor faults aside, refocus and get my driving test done. Okay, as long as I pass, that's the main objective.
Yeah, we're not looking for a clean sheet at all. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to make 15 mistakes. Don't
Right.
stress about small things. And don't think about it while you're driving either, because the examiner will tell you all of your faults at the end.
Turning right?
No, straight on, Belmont.
Okay, sorry. Belmont. Okay, so left at the roundabout. Looking ahead, street furniture. There's a blue sign with 3 white arrows running clockwise. That's showing me it's a roundabout, so I'm going to put my mirrors and signals into action, roughly 6 car lengths from the junction. Slowing down to 1st gear because it's a closed junction. I always wish that they called them blind junctions. I guess you can't really call them that, but closed junctions a little bit ambiguous. I guess a lot of people would think, what the hell do you mean by closed?
Yeah,
So
it's not really descriptive of what
yeah,
the actual
so
hazard is.
closed, what does that mean?
Closed just when you can't really see what's coming until you get right up to the giveaway line, where it's usually a built up area, towns, cities, as opposed to an open junction, which is when you can see what's coming from the left and right before you get to the end of the road.
Sweet.
Okay, so next we're going to follow signs to Central London.
Wow, okay, home
Yeah.
time.
It's going to be, yeah.
So another sign here, blue circle with the arrows, gearing down. I'm going to slow down and stop because I've noticed a signal on the other side of the roundabout, or a car with a signal on the other side of the roundabout. Reaching for my handbrake, there is traffic beyond the roundabout. Yes, I can go and stop on the roundabout. I'm thinking about that at the moment because if it's safe, I'll proceed to follow to the rear of the red vehicle in front, which may block traffic on the left, but they actually have to give me priority, so they'd have to stop anyways. And the vehicles, sorry, following the signs, Central London, mirror, mirror signal. The vehicles from the other side of the roundabout that might go round had space behind me to keep going round, so I'm actually not going to block up the whole roundabout, so I could proceed, if it was safe, to actually go and stop on the roundabout. So I did that when it was safe.
Cool, great, love that.
Alright, 30 road, no signs. If I saw 40 signs, I'd start getting up to, oh, that's back to front. That sign's back to front. Let me see if I can catch it in my mirror. No. 40. Oh, that's cheeky, isn't it? Sign back to front. Right, that one's the right way round. Now that I've seen the signs, I'm up to speed. 5th gear. Woohoo! Is it 6th gear? Hey, there's 6th gear.
There's 6 gears.
Let's go for gear 6.
So guys, this is why it's a really good idea to practice in the test area. Scott's not from Morden, he doesn't do driving tests in Morden, so you're not familiar with this road, are you?
No.
Not familiar with this road. This is a really popular road to go down on your driving tests in Helier Avenue, A217.
Oi. Okay, so the yellow light means
Stop if it's safe to do so.
And was it safe to do so?
It was definitely safe to do so. Also, we don't want to get a ticket, do we, for going
No, and there's a nice camera there, isn't
There was a camera there, yeah, I can see that on the lines on the road. So
Who gets the ticket, Francis?
you get the ticket, Scott.
Me? It's your car.
But you're driving.
Yeah, driver gets the ticket. And I think we're coming back. I see a big crossroads.
We're not quite at the test centre yet. We're 2 roads away now. If you recognise that you're coming back to the test centre, keep focused on your driving test until the end. Scott's going to go. He's thinking about it. He's got his hand into the signal. He wants that right lane. To be fair, if you're overtaking and making progress, there's nothing wrong with being in the right lane at all.
He said it was okay. I'm moving over.
There's nothing wrong with being in the right lane unless you're not overtaking and you're not making more progress than the left lane.
And I am. Right. Moving back to the left lane.
Good shout. Because what we want to avoid is anyone undertaking you. Undertaking is when you're passing on the left, right?
Yep, and you'll get a serious fault for that.
Yep, 100%. That is the end of your independent driving, Scott. I am going to direct you from here.
Okay.
So we're not following that next sign to Central London. We are going to take a left at the traffic lights.
All right, lovely. Ah, this old one, this old chestnut right here. I like this one. Alcorn Close. All right, don't go into the coach stand. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, it's for coach parking for the library. They put school on.
Okay.
School events on there.
All right. Right, left, right. Safe to emerge. Giveaway lines there. Not a stop sign. So I could see, and it was safe to proceed.
I like what you did there. What are you thinking about this tight space?
Yeah, slowing down.
Slowing down.
Checking the sides, making sure I'm a safe distance from the parked cars.
Less space, less speed?
Less space, less speed.
Yeah.
Number 1 rule of driving.
Absolutely.
Less space, less speed. So here's a good situation, the oncoming bus. Less space, less speed. The big red monster. All right, the same thank you to me.
Welcome, mate.
Yeah, mirrors as we go back out. Okay, and then picking up that reference point and making sure I keep 1 metre or door length from the left.
What if you need to keep less than a metre away?
Then I need to go walking speed, possibly
Really slow. Yeah.
or stop even. So I'm going to give a little beep to warn this vehicle that's edging out from the driveway. Some
Wanted to do that
examiners.
so badly. Let me hear the horn.
That's my show me question. Some examiners have mentioned that on tests at the end. That guy was edging out the driveway. You were worried about them. Why didn't you beep your horn?
Yeah, that's what it's used for.
No directions given, following the road ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, if I don't say anything, if the examiner doesn't say anything, you're going straight on.
All
Right,
right.
Scott, what I'd like you to do next is show me how to wash and clean the front windscreen.
Not roll the window down,
Not
though.
roll the window down, knock all the cameras over. No, thank you.
Oh God. Okay, this is going to be a challenge.
It's not the same on your car.
It's a twist, it looks like.
It's not a twist.
Alright.
It's not an up and down.
Okay. Oh, I see a jet here.
What's the
I
only
see
other thing?
arrows, buttons.
No button.
There's the pulling it. it's an up arrow like that. Right, something on the back.
Right, let's stop on the left in a safe place. There's a nice safe space by that tree.
Trees are good, poles are good.
Yeah.
There's usually raised curb by the tree or
Okay,
the
so
pole.
if you can't work out how to do the show me question that your examiner has asked, you can pull over, find it, and then the examiner will ask you to drive on again and demonstrate it on the move. Pushing
That's
is for
the
the back, pulling is for the front. So there we go. We've got that now. Now you can drive on and demonstrate it on the move. So even if you can't find the show me question while you're driving, stop off, find it, and then drive on again. So Scott, again, show me how you wash and clean the front windscreen. Brilliant, perfect. Obviously this isn't Scott's car, it might be different in the Mercedes. You probably just telepathically ask the Mercedes, the spaceship, to wash the windows for you, and
You
does
tell it. You say Mercedes, wash the windows.
Do ya? Shut up. Oh my God.
We
You know
try.
what, when I upgrade my car, when I get a new car, I need to go to Mercedes, don't I?
Yeah, it's nice.
I feel like I'm in the dark ages in this. I love my Ford Focus, but if I haven't said anything for you, go straight on. That's it, and we are back at the test centre. You can see it up there on the right, Morden Driving Test Centre.
Where do they usually finish the test?
Just in the red box on the left. So if we pull up to the red box on the left,
Don't forget to signal.
don't forget to signal. The second red box is for parking, the first one's for loading. So if we pull up
Right.
into the second red box.
Oh, that's tiny. That's kind of misleading. It's like it's for motorbikes or something.
Excellent. Sometimes the examiners do ask you to park in the first red box. If they've asked you to, then just do it. It's not.
Oh right, okay,
yeah, it's not a job.
Cool.
Right, good, Scott. Handbrake in neutral.
car.
Switch the engine off. That is the end of your driving test. Switch the engine off. Use the key. It's not telepathy in this car. You've got to do it manually. So that's the end of your driving test. How do you think you did?
Terrible.
Terrible. So the examiner is going to next tot up their marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Joking. You passed, Scott. Well done. We've got a couple of bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Did you spot them?
Yeah, late signal, talking too much, driving too slow as a 40, talking too much.
Oh, we've got that for appropriate speed. We've got 1 for signal timing.
Yeah.
We've got 1 for necessary, actually we've got 2 for necessary signals. So you would have spotted when we were on the video and on the drive when Scott pulled off and didn't signal, I pointed at it. I don't think you saw me point. You thought I was telling you to turn right, but I was pointing at your signal.
Oh, for moving off?
For moving off, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, good. You know what? That's something I always tell my students to do. Always signal when moving off.
Definitely.
I find that if you just always signal, like you're mentioning, you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong, especially in London where there's so much other stuff going on. There might be someone else trying to pull away at the same time as you, and if they can't see your signal and you're not signalling and you can't see their signal, no one knows what each other's doing.
I didn't signal.
Interesting one. No, guys, what do you think? Comment below. Let's debate this in the comments. Should we signal every time when pulling away, or is there some times when you shouldn't and you don't need to signal? Let's throw it out there. What do you guys think? How did you find the mock test? How's Morden as a test centre?
Morden, not too bad actually.
Not too bad, right? The roads are quite calm, quite quiet. The roads aren't really difficult. And for a driving test with road signs, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. The signs were clear. They weren't hidden or anything behind trees like some signs are at some places.
So people worry about this. When they get a driving test with road signs, they're worried about missing them. You missed a sign, what happened?
I just asked.
Yeah, exactly. So simple, really easy. Guys, just ask the examiner. If you don't know where you're going, try and ask early as well so you don't get to the end of the road. Ask where you're going and he says turn right and you're in the left lane. Then what do you do? What would you do in that situation? What's safe to do? Remember, like Francis mentioned earlier, you always do what's safe. That's what you're being tested on. So if you're in the left lane, you've been asked to turn right, the safest thing to do would be? Go left or straight. Do what the arrow says. You cannot disobey a road marking, even if the examiner's asking you to. Yeah. Nice one, Scott. 2-day pass. What's your Instagram? What's your YouTube? 2-day pass. 2-day pass on the Instagram, YouTube? 2-day pass. 2-day pass on the YouTube. Check out our next videos. We're going to be doing some more link up stuff. 2-day pass versus TDS TV. And catch you in the next video. All right. Peace.